could say. So, Bettman. So they say next year the possibility of a full 82-game season with training camp starting November 17th and a tentative start date of December 1. But privately, team executives think that's too ambitious. I think that we're kind of in agreement on that one too.
Mm-hmm. Anybody who knew how math worked figured out that was too ambitious.
One high-ranking business executive told ESPN, "We all realize an 82-game schedule for next season is a pipe dream. It's not going to happen."
Hold on. High-ranking business executive?
That's what they wrote here.
That's the stock photo of NHL executives.
Why? Because it's a white guy?
Well, I don't know. Jesus. You said it. I don't know what's in your stock photo, but I'm guessing why would they? The business executive. Okay. All right. Whatever. Okay. You could have just said anonymous source. It would have said the same thing.
Sorry. It was a bald white guy.
That's my fault. Thank you.
It just doesn't. It doesn't have to be Bill Daly all the time, John.
Yeah, but he is in every stock photo. I guarantee it.
Photo, yeah. He is that plus
like,
one.
That guy is in every stock photo for the NHL.
One NHL executive told ESPN he anticipates the season to be around 60 to 65 games beginning in mid to late January. Another team executive believes 70 games would be the baseline because that's typically used as a minimum for regional TV contracts.
You know, what I would go back to, rewind however many years you have to whatever it was before 82. What was it before 82 games? 72 games?
It was 84.
What? No, yeah. Lower. I need to go back to lower. Not higher, lower.
So no. Before it went to 82 games, it was 84 games for a couple years, and it was 80.
Well, okay, let's go further back. We need to rewind back.
Like 72.
So I'm aiming for somewhere around 70.
76. We'll go with 76.
Okay, let's go with 76 then.
Yeah.
So whatever. My logic apparently didn't work out very well.
Yeah. There are less teams. They played more games. It was very bizarre.
How bizarre?
Gotta buy the rights. Like these TV deals. Although they said the number for 70 games is more of a guidepost than mandatory minimum. Someone put their name to this whole thing. Oh, I think this is a made-up name. I'll have to go to the Anaheim Ducks business directory because I don't believe there's the president of business operations is named Aaron Teets. So Aaron.
That's funny. I saw that earlier as well, and I started laughing.
Teets said that the situation remains fluid.
Obviously.
See,
of course.
Now that's just come on, Greg. I knew you wrote that sentence. It's been abundantly clear that by Gary and the league that there's been a high degree of flexibility. Teets said there's a tentative December 1st date. It's also a desire to play in front of many fans as possible. We're hopeful we can find.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, good luck. Good luck. Switzerland's just opened it up to 70%, you bastards. You think the NHL is going to open up 100% off the... I don't know. It depends on how November looks.
Let's be honest. Some teams would love 70%.
Right? Daly said we also benefit from being able to observe what happens over the next several weeks, including fall sports, college sports, and European leagues, and how that shakes out. That's fair.
That's true. Yeah.
ECHL Board of Governors revised their start date, blah, 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 blah. Scott Howson talking about the AHL. As time passed, the models... Now, one NHL executive said his club is down to 3 different scenarios. No fans in the stands, progressive projections starting with no fans decreasing to 50 and then to 90, an optimistic case of 50 to 75 to 90. So, there's that.
I like how no one has brought up that there's going to be bubbles.
Yeah. So far, no bubble talk like we had last week of the 8 bubble hubs.
Bubble
or whatever
talk.
The hell it is. Bubble talk. Bubble talk.
That's going to be the next. That's going to be the next podcast that we do.
It's all about bubble hockey and the innovations that are happening with the tabletop gaming.
That would be great, actually.
Luxury suites present an interesting conundrum. San Jose Sharks president Jonathan Becker told ESPN in May that the Sharks are considering scenarios in which 12 to 18 people are in each suite, and that they are filled because of the glass enclosures. The sense around the league that they'll remain appealing to fans, but luxury suites are usually owned by businesses whose impact from the COVID will obviously impact their ability to own or rent them.
The COVID.
Oh, Johnny, here we go. More bubbles.
Yeah.
John Shannon said that NHLPA are mulling a proposal for bubble cities, rotating all 31 teams to those venues in 8-game increments. Benefit is that be able to front load the campaign without travel time and the ability to play multiple games a day. Schedule moves briskly, which understandable.
They have shown that a bubble works.
Yes.
The ice is shit, but the bubble works.
Sure,
fine.
The bubble's fine. So the cost of the bubble, the NBA's bubbles cost 170 to 175 million to multiple reports, but the NHL bubble in 2 cities has not been determined yet. So add 2 more cities to that.
Yeah, but didn't the NBA kind of like take over most of Walt Disney World?
Yeah, pretty much. They took over the whole thing.
Yeah. I feel like that's more expensive than Hotel X.
Sure. Bill Daly said the current format of bubbles wouldn't work in the regular season because our objective is to play a full season. I'm not sure how we do that in the format currently utilizing the significant amount of time to complete our playoffs. Blah 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 blah. And also, would players be wanting to go to a new bubble because they're not being in the outside world and they can't have their family there with them? That would be another thing. We mentioned that last week. Health and safety is another thing that is on the forefront. My camera just keeps going on and off. This fucking USB is just great.
Now we have your computer camera.
Yeah, now the regular camera's off. The right camera's on.
Camera 1, camera 2.
Camera 1, camera 2. If I jiggle this, what does this do?
Whoa.
Oh, ladies. If I unplug that completely and plug that back in. Huh?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, there's that. I don't know. I completely think that the December 1 is very ambitious.
I don't know how sports
works.
Teams can start to travel around the United States and Canada when no one knows how you're able to travel around the United States and Canada. Like, I get it. There are probably a bunch of rich people who've been doing this the whole time, and they were like, nothing's changed for us. But, like, I mean, I haven't traveled anywhere this year.
No.
So I just don't know how you travel to different places. How is baseball doing? Like, is baseball because I know that they had some issues with the Marlins and maybe the Phillies.
Yeah, and the A's literally, as of today, had a positive case today.
Well, then, yeah. See, it's not going great. Is basically what they're saying.
Well, we're gonna see with the NFL what they're gonna do, because that's a lot more people.
True.
But you're only traveling once a week too. So, by the way, the vice president and chief marketing officer is named Aaron Teets. How about that?
That wasn't made up.
Yeah, that's just a clever name. So, yeah, playoffs been for you. It's almost amazing. It's slowed down to 1 game a night.
I know it's a
month ago we had 75 games in a night. It was
I know. We had 6 games a night. It was just crazy. 5 to 6 games. It's been entertaining, but it's too fast. I know that they've had to do it, that fast. I understand that, but just, blink and you miss it. It's like, yeah, she's like, wow, shit, this will be all over real quick again. And it's like, well, it was great to have hockey back, and I really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it, but it's just too fast. I want to hang on to that moment a little longer.
So, but they have done well because the EPL starts this weekend. So they just flipped in. So now we have new sports again.
Good.
Yeah.
is this like when you look at it, sure, it's too fast, but then
Yeah.
you take a step back and you're like, fuck, we really
Dude,
could have the Stanley Cup done by the end of May. And that would be wonderful. If we really pinned ourselves to it, boys, we can get this done.
Yeah.
8 weeks tops.
Yeah. I don't think we'll ever see them shorten it up. Like, if they when we finally get back to doing normal 82 game schedules again, I don't think we'll see that kind of compressed. God knows it'd be wonderful if they could for the playoffs. Yeah, I'm with you. It'd be like, yeah, it'd be back to the 80s again. It'd be great. Yes, by the end of April, the playoffs are done, and now you can focus on baseball and other things and enjoy the summer.
Think of the fucking revenue you would get. 3 games a day. You put that money there. You split that up in the playoff teams of 32. That's a good money right there. That's some good money right there.
But you got travel though. See what
No.
made this?
Hashtag fuck travel.
Hashtag fuck travel, Lyle. That's our new.
What's made this work is because you've got 2 host cities and an equal number of teams in the host cities.
Yes.
Yes, that's
But
what's going to happen.
They won't do that when they
should.
come back to normal.
They bring
They
revenue
won't.
in for the
They
areas.
should. Maybe they should.
Listen.
It's like all-star games.
Players
for
will
both,
never go for
for
it. Teams
both
never
sets.
go for it. But yeah.
Players never go for it. They're not going to be able to fly all the time. They'll be rested and pretty as a peach.
Yep, no, but they're in bubbles.
Hotel
They're away
X.
from their families, and they don't like that shit.
Maybe we take the bubble out of the equation. Maybe we just have a host.
Bring the
2
fam.
host
Yeah,
cities.
let the fams come sit with them. Yeah.
If we do 2 host cities like Mark mentioned earlier with the Final Four or the NCAA tournament, where they're already kind of in bubbles as it is, but they were free to roam about the country. If we have host cities, we can bang this fucker out 6 to 8 weeks. I think this is something.
Or follow me on this. Or you make the first 2 rounds best of 5, and then your final 2 rounds best of 7. Just throwing that out there.
In
Not
the
that
host
we've ever
sites.
seen that before.
In the host sites, we can bang this shit out 4 to 6 weeks. I like your thinking.
Or what
Hashtag
you do
fuck travel.
is you let in teams 12 through 9 as well, and they play game 7s straight up to get in.
1 game winner take all. I like that.
1 game winner take all.
All right.
1 game get you in, baby.
But you call them game 7s when it's really just
But
game
you had
one.
to call them
Exactly.
game 7s. Yes.
It's just call it play-in.
Hold on. Thinking here.
Uh-huh.
Thinking advertising. Thinking
Uh-huh.
sponsorship.
Mhm.
Game 11s. 7-Eleven host it. 7-Eleven title sponsor these game 11s. Winner gets the Slurpee Cup.
Yeah,
The Slurpee Cup.
it's
There you go.
64 ounce.
Of course, it's 64 ounces. What the fuck am I going to do here? What am I
It's the playoffs, goddamn
Am I
it.
going to do a small PP 32 ounce? No, I'm going the big dick 64 ounces.
Agreed.
Why do you think they put a hole that big in the top of the cup so you can fuck it?
That's a lot of plastic.
You didn't even let me guess.
We all knew. Come on. The moment we walked through that door.
Yes. So 1 game 11s for the 6 teams, 6 through 12, and then you start the playoffs with best of 5.
Yes. We do it that way. Or we do a gauntlet. And then
The gauntlet.
the gauntlet
Gauntlet.
where the 5, 6, and 7
Elimination chamber.
Yeah, it's 5, 6,
There
and 7.
it is.
Good. 5, 6, and 17s. They're good.
Yeah.
Get that 8th seed. The 12th seed has to play the 11th seed. The winner of that takes on the 10th seed. The winner of that takes on the
Yes.
back-to-back AAU championships like Tom
Yes.
Manson.
Right. And then
The
FTR
elimin-
comes
the
in and they get
gauntlet
their title
elimination
shot.
chamber. You just combine it into the
Is it-
gauntlet elimination chamber.
Is it this? Is this
Oh,
what
there
it
it
is?
is. That big
Hold on,
dick.
is that a tweet?
That's a big dick.
That is
It's
the
as
tweet.
big as your head.
That's so good.
Oh my god.
What's in
I
my
remember
freshman
that-
year dorm room?
That's
I
a
remember
Maryland
that.
hat, isn't it? It's a yellow
And-
Maryland hat.
It is. I remember
Holy
that being
shit.
a cover for a podcast a cover image for a podcast.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Of
It's,
which,
but the podcast is called Bad Decisions.
but the podcast was something that I lived through that I didn't even know I lived through, and it's wonderful. And I'm glad that I was there vicariously. Then after the fact, knew what was going on in the whole scene.
Holy
So
That's so good.
That's
Wow.
a 20-year-old photo right there.
that's amazing.
So
Well,
good.
So we get to Mark's here and he's gone. And Kobe Moore. He has filed a lawsuit, which could turn into a class action lawsuit, against the NHL, AHL, ECHL, WHL, OHL, QMJHL, and Hockey Canada.
Jesus.
He claims there's a conspiracy between the NHL and the minor leagues and junior leagues to hold players from Canada and North America back.
Interesting.
He says the bylaws of the minor leagues restrict players from playing in the minors due to their age, between 18 and 20, whereas the same rules do not apply to European players who come over and play. They can play in the AHL at 18, as they have no... And then the whole thing was junior eligibility being the key point in all of this. So
Okay.
there is, I guess, some kind of
No.
understanding.
Wasn't the junior setup though built to allow NHL teams to send players back to juniors so that they had like a place to play until they were 20 if they weren't going to college or something like that? Like European players just play in Europe. Like they don't even come to the North America.
But it doesn't burn. It doesn't burn a year of contract or 2 years of contract. They don't, like, when they get into juniors, they don't have to be signed for 2 years. So that he's saying that's withholding money from them, that they can't make money for 2 years because they have to stay in junior, and it's the whole thing of like
But they
the
don't
rights.
have to stay in junior. Not if they're good enough.
Well, yeah, they're either, but you're until you're 20 because the AHL and ECHL have an age limit.
Yeah.
Unless you've played if you run out your junior eligibility, or you're good enough to be in the NHL,
Yeah.
then you can go there. But other than that, until you're 20 years old, you have to be in junior hockey.
Oh, so it's more of like a minor league hockey thing.
Yeah, but he says he claims the NHL is the key conspirator in this.
Is he the only one? Because this seems like a cockamamie idea.
So far, he's the only one.
Okay.
He's the one who drafted this up.
Will this show up in my like NHL.com or I'm sorry, the NHL Network commercials that are like that are after like NHL Tonight or in the middle of it? It'll be like, did the NHL conspire to hold you back in your hockey career? You could be part of this class action suit.
Right, exactly. You must have. Has the NHL offended you?
This seems weird to me.
It seems very bizarre. I'm going to try to find a Cliff Notes version of this.
Like this basically screams out like I'm not good enough to
That's
play
basically
in
what
the
it is.
NHL. So somebody's obviously holding me back.
Exactly. So he played for 4 WHL teams between 2015 and 2020.
Okay, that means that he wasn't that good.
Right. More recent suit asks for financial compensation. The suit alleges the defendants participated in an unlawful conspiracy, arrangement, or agreement to limit opportunities for Moore and other Canadians to make a living playing pro hockey between the ages of 18 and 20. So he's the whole thing about the age limit of the AHL.
Okay.
Document claims the defendants have created a system where the overwhelming majority of players will never reach the top pro leagues, instead spending years playing for nominal sums of money, all to the financial advantage of the defendants, which is the leagues.
Okay.
Lawyer Philippe Anton Michaud said this practice creates a system that imprisons young hockey players between the ages of 16 and 20. The player in Canada doesn't have the same rights as a European player. A Canadian player doesn't have the possibility to play in the American or East Coast leagues, even though the East Coast League hasn't existed since 2003. That was my ad, not his. At 18 or 19 years old, a European player has the possibility to play in these leagues at 18 or 19. This arrangement is not legal under the Competition Act.
But What they can do is they can go the route of Austin Matthews and they can go to Europe.
Right.
So it's not like
Bypass
they have.
everything.
It's not like they have no outlet to make money.
Oh, absolutely. Like there is money to be made.
Yeah, I think that this is just God, I don't know how to say this nicely, but I think that this is a product of the society that we live in currently.
Right. I didn't get here, so they must be against me.
Correct. It's somebody else's fault. It
Right.
can't be the fact that I was just a shit hockey player. Somebody is conspiring against everybody.
The lawsuit states overall Canadian-based players that are playing in major junior leagues have substantially less choices and freedom, if any, than European-based players who have the opportunity. Is Don Cherry in this suit? That'd be wonderful if he was. I would love. This would be the most egregious suit he's had on.
The Don Cherry suit.
The Don Cherry. I got Canadian boys down at the Europeans taking out minor league deals. They can't play on the Everblades.
Now, I will say, I don't understand why a junior-aged player, if the NHL team wanted them to play in the AHL, etc., could not do that. Just outside of these rules, right? Like, that, in my respect, or in my thought process, seems weird. That seems like an outdated rule to me.
Fair.
And something that could get changed.
Yeah.
I don't see why the NHL team couldn't decide that they wanted to keep somebody in the AHL versus having to send them back to juniors. But I don't see how this is. How do you even prove this? Like, don't they have to prove that there's a conspiracy theory amongst, what is it, 6 leagues?
Yeah. They have to, and that's where it's going to, because they named too many leagues.
Like
they named too many fucking leagues.
Like,
if they
even if you
leagues,
named one, like, how do you even prove a conspiracy theory against the NHL in this situation? Like,
as the suit goes, like you said, European players before reaching the MB paid a salary. NHL teams pay bonuses or developmental money to CHL clubs who players are drafted, which the suit calls unlawful arrangements between defendants. Okay, I don't know about that.
Yeah, nope. That's just a developmental fee. It happens in every sport in the world.
Yeah. Ms. Shaw says this strategy is to keep the player in the CHL, and the CHL wants to keep the player in the league that had the capacity to have this money. The NHL and CHL have an agreement together saying no player can play in an affiliate league, the AHL or ECHL. Players have no rights. Players have no voice in this agreement. The CHL has been settling lawsuits left, right, and center. So maybe they're trying to strike where the iron's hot, but they went about this all fucking wrong.
So I've got a weird question.
Sure.
Are there, like, there can't be, like, players associations for junior leagues, right? Like, is this like a precursor to a players association for a junior league?
And that's something that's always been talked about since when I moved up there, is that with the amount of money that junior hockey makes in Canada and the amount of money that the players get as a stipend, it's the whole debate with college football in the States. Like, these players should have there should be some kind of union, and there has been. Well, George Laratte tried to create the CHLPA.
Yeah.
Did it happen? It's still there, but it's not like it's being used.
True.
It's like any penis during a marriage. It's
That's true. Well, I wouldn't know.
Oh, Mark's back.
Yeah. It's like you say something like that, and I just pop out of the bushes.
Hey, guys!
Yeah.
What's happening? Double guns. So yeah, it's an interesting situation where the CHLPA was a thing and it's hanging there, just dangling, fluffing around.
Don't do that. That's 5 to 10.
I hate coming into this in the middle.
Oh, don't you?
That's what she said. I know.
No headset, Lau Richardson on. The
I know. I'm discovering the joys of my new laptop. So
fun.
Your new laptop likes Skype a lot more than the old one, it sounds like.
Yeah, a lot more. It's amazing. I had no idea how slow my old laptop was until my son came down and went to do something on it. He said, "Dad, this thing is like really fucking slow." So
yeah, it takes like a good 15 minutes to load a video on Pornhub. You got to get a new
I
laptop.
know. Yeah, exactly. I mean, by the time you're ready,
What are you on,
by then
dial-up?
the moment's passed. You know, you don't, you don't
Like,
want to see,
you
you
have-
don't want
you
to see
have to
the gilf trio. I mean, by that point, it's just
You
you're ready.
have
Yeah.
to be committed to that video at that point.
The
Like,
candle's
there's
already
no,
halfway burned down.
There's no changing at the middle of it, because then it's just, oh no. Then you know what?
Is this
Just
why
go-
I have fast internet?
Yep,
'Cause I'm
that's why you
single.
get that fiber, baby. Get that fiber, goes right through your lines. That's why it's called fiber optics. Hell yeah, it goes right through you.
There's Scotty right there with the deep
Hey.
thoughts.
That's a tweet.
Boom. Hey, listen, your boy winning big money on Sportsbook this weekend, so there's nothing just
Hey, I
all
was-
coming together,
I was
baby.
like every tweet. I may or may not have been drunk at like 2 p.m. on Saturday watching soccer, but every tweet that you put up about Sportsbook, I was liking.
Yeah, of course. Big money Scotty over here. Big money Scotty over
He's
here.
gonna get the fiber internet.
Big
That
money
five-
Scotty, patent pending.
Lyle, what do you think about the CHLPA and the possibility of it and this lawsuit from Kobe Moore saying there's a conspiracy against us?
Good luck. That's all I can say is good luck. I've just read the very basics of it, obviously, but yeah, I mean he's going after everybody. But
As I questioned before, he makes the point a lot. The lawsuit makes the point a lot about European players having this, and I'm wondering when Don Cherry is going to be named in this lawsuit as a plaintiff, because it seems like it's a very Canadian heavy boy. Good boy, and, Don Cherry's not afraid to wear a bad suit. So
well, I wish the young man lots of luck, but he's definitely, it's almost like Don Quixote tilting at windmills here. I don't know how far he's going to go with it. I mean, come on, if former players couldn't successfully, run a class action lawsuit against the league and wound up having to accept considerably less for compensation for their decades of pain that they've suffered. What kind of odds does a young man who obviously couldn't make the leap to the NHL, who spent, I think, 5 years in the WHL? How
the odds? You got to go to Scotty Bookmaker here. So listen, I'm saying that's a plus 300,000 on that one. If you decide that. Now here's the thing: you could put that at the end of a parlay that you're not really sure about, because if it loses, then you can't blame Kobe Meyer or Kobe Moore, or whatever the hell his name is. We're gonna forget about it anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's a big risk versus reward, much like the Mark Patanzo tweet of the week. Very risky, but very rewarding at times.
There we go.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get.
Bring it on, man.
February 24th, 2012. Mark, you were going to need to give context to this.
Oh boy, good luck.
From
Good.
8 years ago. Sweet, sweet blue moon and magic hat number 9 is for girls.
What I'm guessing that means is I was drinking Blue Moon, which I thought at the time was manlier than Magic Hat number 9.
For
For some
29,
reason.
these things happen.
I mean, everybody has their first foray into IPAs, and Magic Hat number 9 was an IPA. And now
girls,
I go
apparently.
with triple IPAs that are 8%.
There you go.
Yeah.
My imaginary girlfriend.
The irony is that there is a blue moon in October.
Yeah. Is it October 31st?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
gonna
October
be
has 2 full moons in it.
That's, of course, leave it to 2020 to have a full moon on October 31st. Shit is going to hit the fan.
Why not?
Yeah, this is
They wanted the athletic writer that's too cool for the room.
perfect.
So the awards happened.
Okay.
If in case you hadn't had noticed.
I did notice. Luckily, I was already on NBC Sports, and the awards show came on.
Yeah.
That's the only way I knew it was happening.
Interesting. Now I gotta find this guy's article. I don't even know.
I obviously don't read it because I boycott the Athletic.
I got it, and then I just never got rid of it.
That's exactly what they want people to do.
Yeah. Whatever.
Oh,
It is
my
what it
cricket's
is.
back.
Oh, your cricket's back. You need to talk about your cricket situation.
Yeah, I got cricket traps after last week. I got 2 of them off
Mhm.
of Amazon, and there's a little party in the cricket traps. I think I had like a family down here because there appears to be between 8 and 10 crickets in the traps already.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of room in there. You can put more in there. I wonder what you think though when you're getting close to a trap like that, and you're like, oh, the rest of the boys are here. We might as well hang out.
Me and the boys having a fun time. So Dom lose this season. It's easy for
Lose
me to
this
say.
season?
LUSZCZYSZYN.
Jesus.
Season. He wrote an article about how he left Sean Couturier off the Selke Trophy, his selfie trophy ballot. How he left Leon Draisaitl off his MVP ballot, and how he left John Carlson off the Norris Trophy ballot. Suffice to say, Dom is a fancy stats guy.
Oh.
So he does a thing where he put Anthony Ciarelli as the top Selke Trophy guy. Yeah. So there's that. And he does his little fancy stats. Norris Trophy, he had Roman Josi, Victor Hedman, Charlie McAvoy. I had 2 of them I can understand. To an extent, I can understand John Carlson not being on the list because I think if you talk about the Norris Trophy and what it's become, you have it seems like most points wins. And it really shouldn't be that way. And I think we've talked about having a defensive defenseman award and then just the point scoring award.
Right.
Whatever the Art Ross equivalent to defense.
Well, I mean, we could just change it, right, so that we can keep the Norris Trophy as the defensive defenseman and create a Bobby Orr Trophy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then for the Hart Trophy, he put Panarin, McKinnon, Hellebuck, Pasternak, and Matthews as his top 5.
So did he write the article to tell people how cool he is? Is that what this is about?
The reason why he did it, because there's transparency, and his vote was going to be his vote was going to be revealed,
right?
Anyway, so he decided to jump out and say, "Here's the reason why I did it."
So he felt like he had to justify it because it was such shit.
Yes,
perfect.
Because he was lambasted enough, or thought he was going to be lambasted enough, to do this.
Okay.
And I mean, there's being too cool for the room.
Yes, which this sounds like.
It sounds like it. And I guess maybe that's because I don't subscribe to the fancy stats and all this other stuff being
as worthwhile as people think it is.
Well, being as weighted as people put it,
right.
as weighted as, because it's not a static sport.
I mean, it's the same thing we've been talking about for like 12 years now.
Exactly. Right. And I don't subscribe to it, and that's what it is. So he talks about Draisaitl on the ice. Oilers scored 0.34 more goals per 60 than Leafs with Matthews on the ice. But the issue is they also allowed nearly 1 goal against on that same time span. Okay. Leafs earned 58.7% of the goals with Matthews on the ice, while the Oilers only had 52.8 with Draisaitl on the ice.
So here's the question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Draisaitl is on the ice for 3 goals, 3 point whatever. He's on the ice for 1 point whatever against. If he played all 60 minutes, they win every game.
Exactly. Then that's a hell of a stat right there.
I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand why. I guess why. I understand not conforming to the norms. I get that, and I can to an extent I can appreciate that. Look at us. We've done it most of this career.
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't feel like I need to proclaim why I'm revolutionary.
Correct.
By leaving guys off. You know how you can be revolutionary but not be a prick? Vote him 5. Vote Couturier 5. It's not going to hurt his point standing. He's already won the thing. Vote Carlson 5. He's going to finish second. Vote Draisaitl 5. He's going to win anyway. I don't understand why you have to be too cool for the room, and then put Anthony Cirelli as your number one fucking guy.
See, and the point also is that if you've written this article to combat people that are coming at you and saying you're a moron and that you should never have a vote again because you have no idea what you're doing, and you're like, okay, well, here are the reasons, then fine. That comes out 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're preemptively writing this article because you believe that people will come after you for your shitty votes, that means you did something wrong. Like, that almost means you shouldn't be voting.
Yeah.
Because it means that you, one, don't take this serious, or two, believe that this is how you get yourself over.
Uh-huh.
So the fact that it was preemptively written and has already come out means to me that this was a publicity stunt.
Yeah. Like he wrote, so the happened what, Monday is when the awards happen. Yeah, he's got a ton of words on here. and justification and all this. It's like, dude, you either write all this shit really fast or you knew you were going to get lambasted.
Or he wrote the article already before the votes were tallied up because he wanted to give everybody tell everybody how great he was as soon as everybody looked at the votes.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. This is where the ideal of fancy stats loses me. Is when.
So do we just let fans vote for an award at some point soon? Because I mean, it seems like we're close to that.
I would love a fan choice award. I would love that.
Like the fans vote MVP.
Let the fan vote MVP count as like one vote from the writers. This guy's vote.
I don't get it.
But I mean, if you are as hipster as this guy is, and leaving Draisaitl.
First of all, you can order beer and bacon in Dallas. Then
that's true. Yes,
they probably just bring it out to you. You're like the usual. They're like the usual, and you're like, yeah, bring it on out, and they just hand you the normal tray that you get every week that you show up there.
Exactly. Peyton just brings it out to you. He yells Omaha. It's really weird. It's Peyton Manning. He's starting a new business.
Yep, as he should.
But I mean, I guess for you, Johnny, if you feel like if you were this guy, I guess in general, do you feel that
I was this guy?
I guess just if you were you, and you didn't believe that John Carlson was top 5, would you still vote him top 5 or not?
If truly I thought that there were 5 better defensemen in the NHL, then no, I wouldn't. I would go with what I watched and what I saw and how I perceived the league to have looked. However, I would also take criticism for that.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be writing an article telling people why I made decisions off of fancy stats that puts. I mean, let's be dead honest. Anthony Cirelli isn't anywhere close to the top 5 for the Selke Award.
No.
So the fact that he was 1 blows out any other vote that this guy made. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest problem with it is that, and I will say again, I don't read the Athletic. I've never subscribed to it. I know that they have good articles. They have really good soccer articles, but everything that I have seemed to read has come off as a bit pompous.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't spend money on things that I don't want to spend money on.
Fair enough.
So yeah, so I don't know. I don't think that you should be pressured into voting somebody or voting a specific way. But the truth of the matter is that John Carlson was one of the top 5 defensemen in the league this year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't see that, then I don't know, maybe it's time to find another sport.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you don't have Draisaitl on your list at all when he was by far the best player in this league, points-wise. Now, what I found interesting, though, when you actually looked at it, was that McDavid was still 5th on the voting.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That you had two players from the same team that were that close to each other. But I don't know. I still go back to publicity stunt. I feel like this is a person trying to get his 15 minutes of fame, and good on him if he gets something out of this. Perfect. I don't respect the person, so whatever.
Anthony Cirelli's not even top 5 on the Selke on his own team. So I don't know how he could be top. Like, I don't understand. Like that one bugs me. I don't like the Selke in general. I think it's too subjective of a award in terms of best defensive forward. Yeah, I'm not sure. So he said his rationale for this is, by definition, offense should not be a part of the equation.
That's not even. I've always been told that offense is the best defense.
That's true, and so defensive acumen is all I consider, which is largely what it hurt Couturier.
God,
it's very, very bizarre.
This is where we've gone too far. Like, there was a sweet spot for analytics. There was.
Mm-hmm.
There was a sweet spot. It was between 6 and 8 years ago, when it was first starting to ramp up. And then there's a part of me that considers a capologist part of analytics, because that's like half juggler, half magician.
I thought you said juggalo, and I'm like, what does Insane Cloud Posse have to do with this?
But when you get to this point, I think we have bigger issues. I think that there's a much bigger problem if this is how people are voting for awards. Maybe it comes down to the fact that the truth of the matter is that the end of the year awards are bullshit.
Okay, well, there's that too.
So maybe at the end of the day, maybe that's what it really comes down to, is that no one cares about them. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, you could watch a hockey game and figure out in 3 games that some of his choices were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I will say also there was a West Coast bias this year. It's
very much so.
Lots of West Coast going on.
I noticed that in terms
like
of
Hope Rabina.
Exactly, peace. Well, hell, all the counter candidates were from the West Coast.
Yeah, all of them.
Every single one were from the Western Conference. Dominic Kubelek was just happy to be there. Yeah. There it is. I mean, I guess good, like you said, good on him for getting himself over, I guess. Doesn't do anything for me. It's not that I don't respect him. I really didn't think about him at all to begin with.
At the end of the day, it's one vote, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it didn't
it's
really
like voting Republican in Maryland. It's not going to matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I still go back to the fact that if you already have this article written up, that means you've done something wrong.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's already just like, all right, now hear me out.
Right.
It's a now hear me out gimmick.
It's when you come home with somebody else's perfume on. Now hear me out.
Like, hold on. Now before you say anything, we were on a break. Yeah, before he won the cup, a year before. All right, Lila, I told Johnny earlier, and I'm telling you and Mark now. We have smaller games to play before the haha fuck you.
Uh-huh.
So let's blow by all these topics in a timely fashion.
Very well.
First off, future Capitals goalie Henrik Lundqvist was bought out by the Rangers today. Your thoughts on that? 15 seasons.
Okay.
And he's on his way to DC. So what say you?
Well, look. I mean, I think we all knew that the buyout was coming, but again, like with Mikko Koivu's ending of his tenure with the Minnesota Wild. It just felt surreal. It felt kind of sad. 15 years. He was their franchise player through most of it. Let's be honest.
Oh, he was the cornerstone
Oh,
of this whole
absolutely.
franchise.
Absolutely. I mean, I see, and I made the point that I believe he's the greatest goaltender in franchise history. I mean, the stats back it up.
You'd be hard pressed to find an argument, except for those Mike Richter's guys.
Yeah, but the thing is with the Mike, yeah, fine, whatever. But how many, again, he didn't win a Vezina trophy. Mike Richter did not set the franchise records for wins, for shutouts, and all that happy stuff.
But he got a cup, and I think that's what idiot New York
that's
fans
why
will
they kind of figure, well, that tilts the scales in his favor. But the thing is, you can't blame Henrik Lundqvist for not winning a Stanley Cup, because those teams that he played on that went to the conference finals 3 times in 4 years and went to the cup final, they didn't have a lot of offense. They didn't have a prime scorer. They really didn't. They did not have a scoring star.
There was a lot of game 7s in that tenure.
Yeah. And
not like Burger. My Burger had prime rib.
Yeah, there you go.
It's done.
By the way. But I mean, the inability of the Rangers to win the Stanley Cup during Lundqvist's tenure as their goaltender is not on Lundqvist. That is on the management for not being able to bring in a bloody scorer that they needed. But I stand by this. He's the greatest goaltender in Rangers history. I think he's among the greatest in NHL history. I believe he set a record for most consecutive 30-win seasons, I believe.
That sounds right.
The record was 12, I think it is. So that's a phenomenal achievement. And yeah, I stand by that.
So 3.5 to the Caps, Lyle, is what I'm asking here. 3.5 to the Caps.
They can't afford that. Happen. You got to sign Brendan Dillon, and you got a couple other guys there to sign 3.5, or unless you're talking bonus laden. If you give it give it a $2 million base with 1.5 in bonuses to bring it up to 3.5. There you go. But
I'm all about that life, because they only have, you said Dillon. The only other UFA is Kovalchuk.
Who's not coming back.
Yeah, no. Boyd's an RFA. Siegenthaler's an RFA.
Siegenthaler will be re-signed.
Right. Boyd, I don't know. Especially with Connor Mongo McMichael in the background, ready to go. I'm not saying. Just saying.
Just saying.
Not saying.
He already has red, white, and blue pads.
Fuck it. Opt in, opt out. Henrik Lundqvist to DC.
In. I want it to happen. Let's do it. Give him whatever he wants. Salary cap be damned. Let's do it.
Johnny?
In.
Johnny's in. Lyle?
Oh, what the hell? I'm in as well.
Hey, clean sweep, baby. That means we get the trifecta. If we win this bet, we get hearty sandwiches for the next 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Hardee's.com
Except for me,
for all your goodness.
So you don't have Hardee's in Canada because we're poor.
There is a
when you're down here, then we'll take you to Hardee's so that you can get a thick burger.
Ironically enough, the Hardee's is not too far from the hospital. It's literally down the road from the hospital. So
in Glen Burnie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
right
right
at
off
the top of the